Ven acá. The following podcast contain adult language and material the viewers express within belong to a pair of idiots. And you should not be taken seriously. No self-respect individual should even listen to this show. For real. What, are you still here? Oh my God. All right. Good luck, eh? And don't blame the fucking Cuban.
Crash Test Live!
That bass line, baby. That bass line.
Alex,
Hello.
we are getting into dangerous territory where our intros are so good that the show is just downhill after that.
But the thing is that we peak early, and therefore no one can ever be disappointed.
That's right.
We come in so strong right off the top with that intro.
That was
Hello.
good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crash Test Live. It's Friday. It's a very special Friday. Guys, before we start the show today, I have a few words. Today is Juneteenth. And it's interesting because I have noticed a lot of people saying today that they were not familiar with what this holiday is. And so before we get going, I would actually like to speak a few words that we here at Crash Test Live came up with ahead of the show to just say a little bit about Juneteenth, if you don't know. So we wanted to take a minute before getting into today's show to honor and celebrate Juneteenth. For those of you who may be unfamiliar, it's a holiday that celebrates when the news of emancipation finally reached the remaining slaves of the Confederacy in Texas on June 19th, 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Juneteenth is a day for celebration and a day to celebrate Black freedom, education, and achievement. We're happy to see a number of influential companies acknowledging Juneteenth as a company holiday, and we hope that the U.S. will soon recognize it as a national holiday. While we celebrate Juneteenth, it's also important that we not lose focus on the fight for equality that still rages on in this country today, a country with institutions built largely on systemic racism and white supremacy. We must continue to fight tirelessly to reshape these institutions and build a future where true equality and freedom can exist for people of color. For more information on Juneteenth and its importance, we encourage you to visit Juneteenth.com. We also want to restate our emphatic support for Black Lives Matter movement and encourage you all to donate if you can, sign petitions, and speak up in your homes and communities when you encounter racism. Let's work together to build a better future for everyone, and happy Juneteenth.
Woo!
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Well said, Alex.
Jack, happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Happy birthday. How was it? Yesterday was fun?
It was really fun. I was surrounded by very lovely people, but I will say that I am dangerously hungover and unstable right now.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm also dangerously hungover, and I wasn't even there. So
Did you just drink on my behalf, or you just?
yeah, I was celebrating, at a distance.
I did see a picture of you passed out with your horse, which I thought was really cute.
He was drunk too.
It was so cute. I was like, oh, that's nice.
He's a teddy bear, man. I have to say, if you saw that picture, it's me and my horse snuggling in the stall. Do not do that with your horse. Most horses will murder you for trying that. I just happen to have a very nice horse.
I was like, I've never seen that before. I was like, are you gonna be all right?
No, it's honestly not advisable. It's not smart. They can roll over and just crush you to death. So
Fair enough.
Don't try this at home, kids. How are you feeling? Other than being hungover, do you feel more mature and has anything changed in the last 24 hours in your body?
There's more hair on my shitty body, of course.
We did talk about this last episode that you would be hairier.
I thought that I got to the age of like 29, 30 where like hair would stop growing in places. And no, it does not stop growing.
It gets worse. And it starts growing in places where it shouldn't grow.
Yes.
where arguably no hair should ever grow. Suddenly
sun
you're like,
don't-
oh, what
the
are you
sun
doing
don't
there,
reach.
buddy? Yeah, it's a wonderful miracle of nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it proves the existence of a higher power. Honestly.
That's what proves it.
Yeah, that's what
More
does it
hair
for
on
me.
your body.
That's what does it for me. Jack, we have a surprise for you before we continue the show. A very special guest wanted to deliver you a message for your birthday. So we're going to take a minute and just...
All right.
Holy moly, Jack Barcat, is that you? Because when the Crash Test Live family looks in your direction, they see the most amazing guitarist in your band, all time low, plus an all-round great guy. It's like you're super Jack Barcat. Plus, they tell me it's your birthday. You're turning years old. We've got to sing a song, and I hear you do birth month, so maybe this will be a new song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birth month to you. Happy birth week and whatever unit of time you want to celebrate you being on this earth about. To Jack Barcat, happy being amazing to you. I hope that all of your days, Jack, are filled with chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Or that you're staying dry, that you're not feeling as much pain, that you, Jack, are continuing to win in 2020, 2021, all of the years beyond. May each and every one of your best dreams and best wishes be well on their way to coming true. Keep on keeping on. May the wind stay at your back and know that you are appreciated. That the Crash Test Live family, I can't speak, is always there rooting for you, believing in you, and have the most amazing, fantastic, tremendous, stupendous, outstanding, superb, the very, very happiest of birthdays from the Crash Test Live family. Congratulations, Jack, and good luck.
What?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Dude.
And we didn't even have to ask him to do
Oh
that.
my
He just,
God.
Tazon Day just emailed us that video without any request or
is
investment
the
in
best-
Cameo the app.
The best speaker I've ever heard. That was amazing.
What a voice.
What a voice.
What a voice.
I want him to like read me stories before I go to bed.
I know. He has a fire new song. Have you heard it?
Chocolate rain. I haven't. No.
He just put out a song with our friend Lindsey Sterling. No
Oh, really?
less.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Put out a tune about the economy and money, the meaning of money. It's deep, man. It goes deep.
Chocolate rain.
It goes
That
hard.
was
It's real
so
good.
good. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
shout out
that.
Tazon Day for for that one.
That was
yeah.
pretty incredible.
And happy birthday, Jack. I don't know that it gets better than that. You've peaked.
Best voice in
Much
the
like
world.
this show peaks in the intro, you've peaked now in
Yeah,
life.
that was really good. I
sorry to
appreciate
say.
that.
It's Daddy's Day on Sunday. Daddy's Day is coming up.
Ooh, what are you gonna do?
What are you getting your daddy?
My dad taught me when I was younger. He's like, every day is Daddy's Day. So
That's
I'm
true.
out of ideas, man.
I don't know if you guys can hear this on my feed.
Is there a train going by?
No, it's like pouring rain all of a sudden, and I just realized that my mic's picking it up super loud, and there's nothing I can do about it. So there's going to be the
kinda
sounds
nice,
of
though.
peaceful rain in the background for the rest of this show. I'm sorry,
It's like-
Ryan, for all your editing purposes, but this is where we are now. Enjoy the rain, folks. We have a great interview on the show today. Very excited. It's our first interview here on Crash Test Live. Maisie Peters joins us on the show a little bit later. We adore, we love. Guys, keep wearing your masks, please. Keep wearing your masks in public. I'm getting worried. I'm starting to worry.
Don't be a Ryan.
These cases be spiking, y'all. These cases be spiking,
These cases be
and it's not great.
The scientists are saying these cases be spiking.
Yeah, it's direct from the CDC. The cases be spiking. In this week's wonderful news, it's time. It brings us to this
do it.
week's wonderful news. Let's get into
Let's do
it.
it. Oh,
That's us. That's us as news reporters for the visual.
you look good in that picture.
Thank
You
you.
actually look like good.
It's not photoshopped. It's real. Just a few days ago, SpongeBob SquarePants confirmed by the network that runs his show. Gay?
Confirmed.
Most people know about SpongeBob, but not everybody knows his sexual orientation. And given that it is Pride Month, I love this tweet from Nickelodeon. Can we throw that back up one time? Nickelodeon tweeted, celebrating hashtag Pride with LGBTQ plus community and their allies this month and every month. It features a photo of Korra from Avatar, who is confirmed bisexual by the creators of the show. also Henry Danger, who is transgender, and SpongeBob, who has not actually been confirmed gay, but a lot of people online have always been saying,
Interesting.
But I like this. I like this statement, and I like my SpongeBob gay pants.
Has there been a cartoon like SpongeBob was like? Well, we had the Rugrats and Doug growing up, and then like Wild Thornberries and all those, and then SpongeBob was kind of like slightly after our time a little bit.
But I watched the shit out of it.
No, I watched it, but we were probably in middle school by that point. But like, what has there been a cartoon since SpongeBob that has like replaced that for people?
Ooh, that is a good question. I mean, Adventure Time was up there.
Oh,
remember?
there it is.
We had a moment with Adventure Time. You're gonna have to throw to the chat. What else? What else?
Yeah. What are they saying?
I mean, there are a lot. Phineas and Ferb.
A lot of
Shout out Phineas and Ferb.
Rick and Morty, but that's all like kind of after us though, right? I mean, it's pretty.
Oh, there's someone in the chat saying SpongeBob is asexual. Steven Hillenberg said so, who is the creator of the show. Well, that's fine too. He is a sponge. He may not have a sexual orientation, and this may just be a creation that we've all cooked up. But
he's an actual scrub daddy.
As long as he's enjoying his life and living his truth, that's what I want for my SpongeBob. That's really all I care about. A man has turned himself into the FBI for killing Abraham Lincoln in 1865. A Virginia man turned himself into the FBI headquarters this morning, claiming that he was guilty of killing more than 30 people, including the 16th president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. 71-year-old Leroy Timothy Anderson claims he worked for 35 years as a time-traveling assassin for a secret governmental agency and says he's killed people at various times, going from 1678 to 2239.
Hell yeah.
The elderly man declared that his actions were all legitimately ordered by the government, but that he fears his former employers might want to eliminate him because he knows too much.
It sounds like, honestly, it kind of sounds like a Chris Nolan movie.
This is an incredible script for a movie, and if we don't submit this ourselves, we're missing out. He claims that he was part of a program called the Kronos Project, which was designed, coordinated, and executed by the CIA and DARPA. The ultra-secret program would have orchestrated more than 1,200 assassinations spreading out over almost all of human history, including many famous characters, Julius Caesar, Mahatma Gandhi. What? His story was clearly one of the most entertaining I've ever heard, says the FBI director. The FBI is not opening an investigation. They don't believe the man. For those of you who don't know, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated on Good Friday, April 14th, 1865, while attending the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater. The suspect was John Wilkes Booth, and a number of other suspects. They were all put to death for the crime. This is gonna cook your noodle, man. I got something that's gonna cook your noodle because I read this story. I read this story and it got me thinking.
Okay.
Strap in, folks. So
strap in and strap on.
Get this. Time travel is not an easy thing. So if you're time traveling all over the place, you could create multiple instances of yourselves throughout time, right? So this guy turns himself in now for committing this crime, but he may also have been one of those suspects back then who was hanged for the crime.
Yeah.
Because if he jumped in, jumped out,
Jeff,
or
this is more
back,
this is more your territory.
No. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Time, space, science, math.
Time is a wibbly wobbly
technology.
circle, my friend.
This is Alex, Jeff.
It's a Jello cube. It's a Jello cube suspended in a vat of maple syrup. A man. Wait, no, that's the last story I just read. Treasure chest hidden in the Rocky Mountains for a decade has been found.
Oh.
Thousands of brave souls have ventured into the Rocky Mountains for the past decade, searching for treasure. It's true. Gold, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds.
In the end, did they find out that the treasure was just inside them the whole time?
The treasure was knowledge.
Knowledge.
The treasure was knowledge.
And love.
According to that one shitty Harrison Ford movie that will not be named. When they fucked up a character forever. But that adventure has finally come to an end. The treasure has been found. Forrest Fenn, an 89-year-old art and antiques collector who created the treasure hunt, made the announcement Sunday on his website. It was under a canopy. This is what he says. It was under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains and had not moved from the spot where I hid it more than 10 years ago, Fenn wrote. I do not know the person who found it, but the poem in my book led him to the precise spot. The treasure was found a few days ago by a man who did not want to be named, Fenn told the Santa Fe New Mexican. He noted, however, that the man was from back east and that he confirmed his discovery by sending Fenn a photograph of his newfound riches.
Ooh, do we see it? Do we have it?
The treasure, estimated to be worth over $1 million, was a way for Fenn to inspire people to explore nature and to give hope to people affected by the Great Recession, he said. Wow.
What if you just found it and it was one of those coupon books where you got to spend like $25,000 to save like $15?
This is so fucking pure.
It's very
This
pure. Is
guy
it
buried
real?
treasure to inspire people to go and get out and see nature and find, and the treasure was knowledge. The treasure was knowledge, guys.
inside here the whole
We
time.
have a video. Let's roll the video. I want to see this.
The Santa Fe author, famous for the treasure chest that he supposedly hid in the Rockies, posted pictures of himself being reunited with that treasure. Forrest Fenn announced earlier this month that someone had finally found the chest he claims he hid more than a decade ago, with only a cryptic poem to guide treasure hunters to the secret spot. Yesterday, Fenn posted these pictures on his blog, saying the box is darker and some of the silver is tarnished, but this is indeed his famed treasure. Fenn says he's respecting the finder's wish to remain anonymous and keeping the hiding spot a secret.
Interesting. It's kind of cool. Is it $1 million, did you say, or did I make that
It's my
up?
favorite thing I've ever read. Yeah, it's worth over $1 million. He buried treasure and then wrote a poem to give someone clues to go and find it, and someone finally found it.
It's like the Goonies. I love that.
Can you imagine? This happened. This is like the last two stories
very
are
cool.
both
Yeah.
movie worthy, and this actually happened, guys. I love it. I love it so much. Also, man can't sleep as unwanted pizzas keep arriving at his door for 9 years. For nearly a decade, pizzas, kebabs, and other takeaway treats have been turning up at Jean Van Landegem's door. Sometimes as many as 14 deliveries at a time, but he never ordered one. For the past 9 years, the Antwerp resident, Jean, has been receiving regular pizza deliveries, sometimes as many as 14 a day. That's redundant, Jeff. You put that in there twice, and I read it like a fool.
Whatever you put on the teleprompter, Alex
I'm
will
gonna read
read.
it.
You know.
The 65-year-old explained that 9 years ago his doorbell rang. Suddenly, a pizza delivery man handed me a whole ass load of pizzas. He didn't say ass. I added that for color.
Ass.
But I hadn't ordered anything. He assumed it was a simple delivery mix-up at first, he told the news. But from that day to this, the torrent of takeaways has not stopped. He says that the deliveries come from a wide variety of nearby fast foods, and they won't stop.
Everyone in the chat's like, why are you complaining? Why is this a problem?
I know. Dude, like, delivery people just show up to your house and give you food for free every day for 10 years? That's incredible.
Yeah,
Can you imagine how much money you would save?
I mean, yes.
This guy's living like a king.
But also, it's a bit weird. Like, someone is spending thousands of dollars to give this guy pizza.
Probably the same guy that buried his treasure in a national park and wrote a poem to guide
just
people to it.
He's
a giver.
He's a giver.
He's a giver. Man giveth, and man taketh away.
And men take it.
People, this is a good one. This was submitted, actually, by Aaron L. People want Britney Spears and Dolly Parton statues to replace Confederate monuments. Let's fucking go.
Nice. Let's go.
A monument totally dedicated to Britney Spears. It's all we've ever wanted, and now the internet wants it too. As Black Lives Matter protests continue around the country, people are starting to question why Southern states have so many Confederate monuments. Yes, we're all fucking wondering that. Literal figures that represent a horrific time in our nation's history. Some protesters have taken it into their own hands to remove many of these statues. Tear them the fuck down, is what I say. Others are petitioning that the ones standing be replaced with ones universally beloved Southern icons, like Britney Spears and Dolly Parton.
I love that.
More than 40,000 people have signed a petition to replace the Confederate statues in Louisiana, Spears' home state, with ones in the pop queen's likeness. Before, the quote says, before becoming one of the world's most important and influential pop legends, Britney Spears was living life in a small southern town by the name of Kentwood, Louisiana.
Is her real name Britney Spears?
Sorry?
Is her real name Britney Spears?
I don't know, and I don't have that on this article.
I'll look it up.
Someone pop in. Ryan?
Britney Jean Spears.
Ryan?
Brittany Jean Spears, correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for wearing your mask.
Yeah.
Thank you for wearing your mask, Ryan. Brittany Jean Spears, real name.
Good to see you guys.
I agree. Like, dude, look.
And if you don't like Britney Spears, you can get the hell out of this
get the
country.
hell out.
You can get the hell out.
No. I'll say this. These statues have no bearing or relevance anymore in our society. The argument that these Confederate statues hold any value is purely to learn from them as a what not to do.
What not to do, yeah.
So put those fuckers in a museum with some context, and they can hang out in there. But don't make anybody
You don't
look
need
at
to
those shits on a street
stare at
corner.
them every day.
We don't need them.
It's stupid.
Stop defending them. Just because you want to bitch about it's destruction of public property. No. Tear those fuckers down, is what I say. Those are hate symbols, and they do not belong. Also, Dolly Parton. I mean, come on. The world needs more statues of Dolly.
Have you heard the rumor about Dolly Parton having 2 full sleeves, tattoo sleeves?
I have heard that rumor, and I believe it's been confirmed for me.
Is it confirmed?
Yes. I don't want to speak out of turn, but someone that works for the Simple Creatures touring crew also worked for Dolly on tour and confirmed that she is covered in tattoos, which I fucking love.
Truly?
She's a badass.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. And finally, in the news this week, a Calgary family spots a rare white-headed grizzly cub outside of Banff.
Aww.
When Julia Turner Buddewick snapped a drive-by photo of a grizzly and 2 cubs this weekend, the Calgary mother of 2 had no idea what she was getting. She said, "Oh, I'm just going to snap a picture out the window," as we drove by. They didn't want to pull over. And as they drove, she realized the cub had a totally white head.
Oh.
A blonde boy.
A blonde boy.
A blonde boy. We have a picture of this bear
Yeah, can we see him?
to share with the class. Look at that guy down in the left.
Whoa!
It's like aw.
That's so cool.
It's like he dipped his head into a paint bucket. You know?
That's
you
super
know?
cute.
And what I love about this is, for those of you who don't know,
It's my favorite news week, Alex.
Sorry, what?
It's my favorite news week.
It's the best. It's the best news
Yeah.
ever. It's exciting stuff. If you guys don't know, you wouldn't know because we haven't talked to you about this yet. Jack and I have a certain fascination with blonde bears, because since we both became blonde for a while now. Obviously, I'm a little bit purple at the moment, but usually blonde. And we were wondering what other animals in nature can be blonde. It was a conversation that we started having, and we found out that blonde bears are a thing. Can we see the picture of a blonde bear? Wow.
He's
For
kind
those of you
cross-eyed in
listening
that.
to the audio-only podcast, a picture of a blonde bear has popped up. Not a polar bear, but a blonde bear.
A blonde bear.
I think we have another one. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Majestic blonde bear.
Hey, boy.
A fancy boy.
Or girl.
A fancy boy or girl.
fancy
And
boy
it's like
girl.
this little guy is well on his way to being a fully grown blonde bear.
I love that.
And I have to say that I'm proud.
Can humans live with bear?
No. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. I believe that there's a very horrifying documentary of a guy who did try to live with bears, and I don't want to spoil it, but it ends with him being mauled by
his
bears.
his head got ripped off.
The documentary is Grizzly Man, and the ending is Grizzly Man.
Man.
So that's...
We're old enough to start making dad jokes, right?
And that was my
Yeah.
first one.
Cool.
And I'll say this.
Yeah.
That was about damn time
Oh, about
for a
damn
dad joke on the show. Flash the logo. Reed, flash the
About
logo. I
damn
know it was
time.
unprompted.
About
Yes, about damn time. About damn time.
About
Nice. That was the news for this week. Wonderful news. It was wonderful.
And it was news.
We are going to take a break. Actually, no, we're not. We're just going to go right to the interview. Right now, we got Maisie Peters on the show. Roll it. All right, welcome back to Crash Test Live. I'm very excited because right now we have our first guest on the show ever. This is good. This is big. We're talking. People returned our calls, and the first person to graciously return our call today is one Maisie Peters. Welcome to Crash Test Live, Maisie.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Really good. All things considered, these times are strange. We've all
Times
done
are
these
strange.
interviews and said times are strange 100 times at this point.
Yeah.
But we're good. It's so exciting to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm a long time stan. So
Oh.
this is great times.
Well, this is only the third episode, so if you're referring to the show, I know that you're lying.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Exposed.
Exposed.
I'm like, okay, it's been good. Bye. I'll show myself out. No, I mean, I'm sure I will be a big time stan though. But I was more referring to your other lesser important side project of your band.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much.
Simple Creatures.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it's early. I know it's early days for you guys, so I'm just like happy to help.
We're both wearing our side project T-shirts right now.
Oh, I love No Doubt. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah,
Kind
thank
of
you.
obscure. I don't feel like many people have heard of them yet.
Just kind of like a low-key sort of SoCal indie band that's on the rise right now.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Excited to hear more.
So what's going on with you? Tell us about your life right now. I mean, you are this amazing musician, artist, kind of exploding onto the scene. I found out about you probably last year, and I reached out and said, "Hi, I really like your music," and that's how we started talking. And
true.
but I'm curious what's going on for you, because obviously we've been going through it. I think all artists and musicians have, but things are indeed strange right now. And how are you adjusting to this new way of life for you? What does music look like for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, it was very odd. I moved back fully like to my parents' home, as did my sister. I've got a twin sister, so we both moved home, and it's just like being in school again. Like all of my family are at home, and I'm just like in my room, like writing songs on my guitar, and I'm like, Mom, like stop hoovering. I'm trying to record.
Yes.
I actually, for my birthday, my mom got me a I'm recording sign to put on my door, and it's on the door right now because I was like, Mom, like I'm doing a podcast.
I love that so
She's
much.
like, "Do you want
And
some
it's
supper?
so-
Supper's ready." You're like, "Mom, I'm recording."
Mom.
It's so true. The amount of times that I'll be like on an interview or trying to record a demo or something like that, and then like the delivery man shows up out front and my dogs start
That's my
barking in the
mom.
middle of the tape.
In a way, my mom is just like an elevated delivery man. She'll never watch this, so it's fine. But no, it is. Yeah, it's funny. It's weird. I don't know. Like in a way, it's been really nice because I think, like, for a lot of musicians that I've spoke to and for myself, it's like very much brought everyone back to like why they started in the first place.
Absolutely.
And how they started in the first place. You know, like we're all writing on our own again, which I don't know about you guys, but like I basically did 2 or 3 years of just writing with other people. But I started writing on my own, and I did that for like 4 years, just solely. And then I just kind of forgot how to do it because I just stopped doing it. And yeah, it's just been just back to basics. Like everyone's just sat there with their guitar, like on Rhyme Brain.
Yeah.
I don't know
like,
about you.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been like going back and learning scales that I haven't practiced since high school. Like stuff that like you're like, why do I need to do this if like I'm playing our songs? You know what I mean? And then you go back and actually like relearn a lot of stuff about music. I don't know. It's been interesting.
No, like doing covers. I've like started singing covers. I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
who am I?
It's so good though, because there's something about that back to basics nature of everything right now that's like it's as you said, it's simplified and it's leveled the playing field, and you sort of see artists from all walks and all different points in their careers kind of all back on this even playing field, and it's really interesting. Like on one hand you have brand new artists putting out these songs that they've just made and are budding and blossoming because of everything that's going on. And then you also see like Chris Martin from Coldplay sitting at his piano on Instagram Live, like just doing some tunes, and you're like, wait, how is this the same?
Chris Martin just being the only good man on earth for
Right.
like 10
Right.
minutes every day. Sorry.
It's absolutely incredible.
But you
No,
understand.
Yeah,
We're boys.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. Like,
So
I do.
you're back home. Your home is Brighton, correct?
Yeah, just like a kind of near Brighton.
Nice. Well, I'm Brighton's one of my favorite towns in the UK. And for you, I mean, how do you think Brighton's got a pretty big, it's an amazing cultural place, and it's always been a place in my mind of it's very accepting. It's very, kind of, I don't know, what would you call it? Like, I hate
Free
using the word
thinking?
like trendy, but it's like, it's
free
always had
thinking?
this really like just cool, hip connotation to it that I really enjoy, but it's not London, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that's kind of been instrumental in your coming up and your music, how it's affected you?
Yeah, probably. I think growing up, Brighton was my like local music scene. Brighton's one of the only cities in the UK where you can busk without a license. So I used to busk a lot in Brighton.
Sorry, what is that?
Busking is singing on the street, but you're not homeless.
Oh, cool. I like
Just
that.
a flag to everyone. I
Nice.
wasn't homeless, I had a home. And yeah, so it's just like you set up with your guitar or whatever, and then you sing, and then people pay you. Or like just put like, is it like put like pound coins in your guitar case?
Yeah.
Quid.
Yep.
There we go. A regular native. And
Learning about busking, by the way. How did you not know what busking was?
I've never heard that term. Is that a British term?
No. It's like the common. No. Yeah, it's the common term for like when you take your guitar out of a case on a street and start playing for people.
I mean, have you guys done it?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I have. I used to go there. A town near us called Towson. It was like a little college town, and it had a circle, and right on the corner there was this really cool like little punk vintage store, and I would occasionally go and hang out there and try not to get beat up, and I would take my guitar out and play like a song because I didn't really know how to play many songs yet, but every now and then someone would throw $1 at me, and that was nice.
I was definitely more of I actually figured out such a hack because I must have been like, I was young. I was like 14 maybe.
Oh, wow.
But also I looked like just minus like 5 years off whatever age I actually am. So I looked like 10.
You were this tall.
No, you're joking, but like it's not a joke. I'm 5'1" now. So I was probably like 4'11", looked about 10. And like I was key in my hack. Like I wasn't amazing. Like no one is at 14. I was fine.
Sure.
But I would sing and I was kind of adequate enough that people would be like, wow, she's good. And she's 7. I used to just, people would just, I think, pay me and just like give me money and would watch because they would just genuinely be like, she's like so tiny and like young. And I would sing like Disney covers in front of like the local children's library so the kids would have to watch and then the parents would have to pay me. No, you think.
That's a solid game.
Nice.
Like that's a perfect scam right there.
Game. Like I made actually quite a lot of money. Like looking back, I was like, that's the most profitable years of my whole career.
Maisie Peters, scam artist. No.
Honestly, no,
that's
funny.
amazing.
14 years old. And then like my dad would come and just like watch in case anyone like sus came over and tried to pull anything.
Of course.
Did you have any plants in the crowd? Like, this is the best singer I've ever seen.
Yes.
I would
get my friends to come and put money in the guitar case to like start the trend because people feel weird. I think being the first, and then obviously I would give them their money back at the end.
You were running a full-on operation down there in Britain.
I literally haven't talked about this in ages. This is hilarious memories. Yeah,
incredible.
But I think to be fair, to look back, like that sort of the spirit of that and of just like singing for 2 hours. And like no one cares, but you weren't doing it for anyone to care. You were just doing it because you were doing it.
Absolutely.
And like I think it just teaches you a lot in terms of just like playing and no one's listening, and that's fine. And like you just have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's that spirit of like the entrepreneurial side of it meets the sort of like the creative force who just doesn't care about who's watching. And I think there's something to be said about that because when you're first starting out, and I'm sure you can attest to this, we certainly can, really, it's not like people don't care. And in a world that's so inundated with music and content and things happening at all the time, it is hard to stand out. It's hard to make yourself stand out in a crowd. And so I sometimes feel like the people who stick out are the ones that kind of just go, and it's that metaphor of like you're the one dancing alone in the corner of a room at the dance, and as long as you look like you're having a great time, eventually people start flocking in your direction, go, I want to know what's going on over there, what is that? And then everybody's dancing with you. And
to be honest, Alex, that was kind of like Warped Tour was like that. Like you had to stand out from there's so many bands. There's like 100 bands every day. So you had to stand out from them and do something to make the crowd be like, oh, you're different than these other 95 bands. You know what I mean? It's very much that mentality.
Wow. How many Warped Tours did you guys do?
Oh, man.
4 or 5?
5, I think.
5?
Yeah. And then we got to play, we did actually get to play a couple dates on the last one when they did like the final run. It was super fun. Yeah, it was really cool. But that's not important. We're not here to talk about us. We're here to talk about you, Maisie.
Less of that. So English. I'm like,
no, I couldn't possibly, but please.
I have noticed.
Let me play for these children with their parents watching.
I have noticed that you're getting 3.9 million monthly listeners on Spotify, which is creeping dangerously close to our number.
Are you serious? Congratulations,
I'm
that's
not
amazing.
Worthy. Jesus.
So you're dangerously close to all-time low territory. So we got to do something about this, Alex.
I would never come for your guys' crowd. It's blasphemy. It's literally blasphemy.
I didn't bring you on here to boost your plays
Yeah.
and somehow
You're like,
subvert
fucking shut
all-time
it
low.
down. Shut it down.
Yeah, it's
And I
done.
just,
We're
like,
done
go
here.
black.
This is like the worst, most generalizing question ever, but for anyone who may not know you yet, how would you describe your music to people? Because I find that there's a really nice, pure charm to it. To me, it's like coming from this place of kind of going back to what you were saying, writing songs at your house in Brighton with your family around. It feels like that, even though that's maybe not who you are or where you are now in life. It speaks to something that I think we can all relate to because we were all, we all come from that same kind of
We all come from Brighton.
We all come from Brighton. Yeah.
yeah. It's the message of the podcast. No, how do I describe my music? I don't know. I don't know why I don't have an answer for this. I've been asked it like 5,000 times.
Because it is the worst question. I preface it by saying.
I would just say it's, actually I have a friend who I make a lot of music with called Fred, and we'd always talk a lot about like songs or music that's necessary, and like really trying to put emphasis on when you're making music to make it like a necessary song. Because I just always feel like, and especially with Spotify nowadays, the jug of music is so full already.
Yes.
Like if no one released, also it's actually so great already. Like if no one released any more music ever, it would be fine.
Yeah.
It's already sick. Like I would probably actively bring it down. But that's another conversation.
Just
so
diluting. We're just diluting at this point. We're watering it all down.
If we're gonna dilute it, then we might as well dilute it with like the best possible intentions. And I think that when I make music and release it, I'm always trying to think about whether like it's really necessary to somebody, one person. And I like to think that that is my music, maybe.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. And I think that's why it speaks to me.
Your lyrics are very like real and raw and very personal. Like when I just like reading them alone, outside the music, you can tell they're like very personal to you, which I always appreciate when artists do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it. I like a lyric. I grew up on Taylor Swift, so it's like,
there you go.
Nice.
Just gotta, send one out to Taylor. Thank you.
Props to Taylor.
Cheers.
She Swift.
You started a book club, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that something that has come about because of everything that we're going through, or is that something you've had on your mind for a while and now have just had the time to manifest it? Because I love this idea.
Good question. I think I kind of had the idea for a while. I read a lot anyway. And yeah, I guess it did kind of come about when, like, at the beginning of quarantine, when I loved the beginning of quarantine, when everyone was just like live streaming like every minute of their day.
It was so pure.
So pure. Everyone was just like having a mental breakdown, but like on camera.
Collectively.
It was absolutely unreal. Like you just be, and it'd also be like, the best bit would be like Sarah from middle school would be like on live, like being like, "Hi guys, welcome to my bedroom."
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So good. So I think it probably came about from that time of being like, "Fuck, I need to do something." But now it's just become like a really sick other place, an other thing that I do. Where it's kind of like this, I guess, for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we all forget that we are like actually multifaceted and do other things than just like play a G chord and hope we do something good. So yeah, book clubs, just like a really nice corner of the internet, and it's good for me as well because it kind of gives you like focus. And I had to do this interview with this author for the first month, and the book was called Explain Times. It was like amazing. I loved it. Like I really personally connected to it.
Nice.
But she's like an actual author.
Mm-hmm.
Like she like does that, and I feel like music different. Like I talk to people in music all the time, like this. Like we're all just kind of chatting shit, but music is about that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Music is informal, so it works. But I was like planning. I was writing all these questions for this interview with this author, and I was like, "Fuck! Like this is actually serious. Like I've got to like actually make notes.
Yeah.
Like I made like an essay plan.
You have to come across like you sort of know what you're doing. And talking with someone who does something that you can't even possibly necessarily begin to understand. It's intimidating. And I know that because this is our first interview on the show, and I was really nervous going into it. And we're talking to someone that does
and we
the
have
same
shit in
thing as
common.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and literally, it's a weird thing. It's weird. I feel like probably, I guess, for us because we're often being interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe that gives you kind of an advantage.
I don't know though. I feel like it's weird to flip it. I have a really hard time like keeping it on the rails and not just wanting to go off and start talking about whatever else.
Inside jokes and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Exactly.
I just like to call that like charm, and we just keep that
it's
in.
the charm. It's the charm.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
interview. That's what
How
this
was the
whole
interview
show
with the
is,
boys?
Maisie. It's
Charming.
Yeah.
Charming.
It's a
Such
charming show.
Such a weird verb, like charming.
Oh man, would you say that because of the book club, it's yet another way to connect with your fans in these strange times? Because I think we're all, we greedy artists who want to just connect with people all the time. I feel as though it's been a challenge to think of ways, to come up with ways to still feel like you're engaging with the audience beyond just them streaming your music at home in their rooms. Because I don't know how what you do when you're on tour and things like that, but we as a band have always been very, very connected personally with our fans. Like we are doing countless meet and greets, just trying to get out and meet people after the shows, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And I feel robbed that this year we have not been able to do that. And I'm sure you're going through the same thing. You were meant to be on tour with Niall, right?
Yes, I was. That was meant to be this year. Sweet Irish man.
Yes,
the best.
Which also, congratulations. That's an amazing
Thank you.
tour to be a part of, and speaks volumes to everything you have going on for yourself right now, because you're just getting in it. But what aside from the book club, what else have you sort of been thinking of doing to engage with people that want to engage with you? Because that's what it comes down to. It's like people want to connect not only with the songs, but with the mind of the person who is making them.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be.
Wow!
Wow!
What an interview! That's
She's
part
the best,
one.
man.
That's part one. That's part one. There's more. And yeah, guys, I was watching the chat during that whole thing. Yeah, obviously it was pre-recorded. Sherlock Holmes is out there. Everyone's a fucking
We don't want to
detective
ruin.
now. This was pre-taped. This show's called Crash Test Live. I disagree. Guys,
we don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? We want it to be perfect.
We wanted it to be great, and we wanted to make sure she was happy with it, and we did it on Wednesday. So there.
Ironically enough, I've been wearing the same thing since then.
I wore the same clothes, but we flipped around on the video, and I realized that and it freaked me out. This is like the intermission. Right now, we've gone to the lobby. We've gone to get ourselves a little snack. According to the video, my dog is in here. There's thunder above. My dog is in here panting furiously, freaking out. So I apologize for the panting.
Which dog?
It's little Sebastian. Little Sebastian.
Little Sebastian.
But during this intermission, before part 2 of our Maisie Peters interview, it's time for a segment that we haven't agreed upon the name yet. I'm calling it Jack Snacks. Jack Snacks?
I'm calling it Jack in the Box. But
is it Jack in the Box or Jack and the Box?
Jack and the Box.
Jack and the Box.
Yes.
Because it's
that's what I'm
presumably a box of snacks?
Correct. Well, this week we're going to try Jolly Rancher cereal. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We're going to try a new one.
Yes, we are.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to try it.
Let's give it a try. Let's give it a go.
The bag. Make sure you get the sounds right.
Yeah, get it right up on the mic.
I'm excited for this one. Like the Sour Patch ones, I was not excited about because I was like, this is going to be terrible. But this one, I think it's going to be good.
Just so everyone knows, this Jack's Untitled Snacks segment is born of last week's episode where we Jack was inspired by a young boy to review some Sour Patch cookies, and he's now taken it upon himself to make this an entire part of Crash Test Live where he just reviews snacks. So
snacks.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah,
I'm really excited about it. You know what it smells like?
Huh?
It smells like it kind of smells like Oops All Berries.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite cereals. So
okay.
I think it's gonna be pretty good. So
my dog is not a happy camper right now, you guys.
This is a really quick prep time. You're just gonna pour some almond milk in a bowl, and that's all you got to do. You got the milk right here. Do a little tilt.
So
You're gonna want-
you decided to go with milk.
Yeah, I don't eat dry cereal. I'm not a psychopath. Hey,
Just right up on the
Baz.
mic.
Does he see it? It's like I'm pouring it in his mouth. Oh.
He's just
We're gonna
panting
pour it in.
furiously. He's okay, buddy. All right, over to
we
you,
go.
Jack. Review this shit.
Ow. It's hard. Should have gave
Hard?
it a soak. I should have gave it a soak.
Is it stale?
No, I need to let it soak in the milk.
Okay. I respect the fact that you went with milk. You didn't just try it dry. Because you don't want to dry.
This is terrible.
It's terrible. Wow.
It's really not good, dude. No.
Okay. So
No, it's not good.
is it because it's sour? Because I feel like the last two things you've tried have a sour quality to them, and I feel like sour in the context of cookies and sour in the context of cereal and milk is a giant no.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It tastes like sour milk.
Ew,
Like, it's
dude.
not
Because,
good.
like, why would you want a food product that makes your milk taste sour? Because sour milk is like what milk's not supposed to taste like.
Yeah, it's not good. But you know what? I'm gonna keep supporting them because I think it's very ingenious and it's a great idea.
And we would love that sponsorship money.
And we
So,
gotta get that sponsor.
we gotta get that sponsor money. So yeah,
All right, so
shout
I'm
out.
gonna give this. I will say this, Alex, slightly better than the cookies. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
I think you gave them a 3 out of 10.
4 out of 10 Jolly Rancher cereal.
All right, there you go. That sponsor money's coming. And that concludes Jack Snacks / Jack and the Box / Jack's as of yet untitled food segments.
Thanks for tuning in.
She says,
I'm not gonna waste this. It is fucking terrible. It's not good.
"Why do you keep eating it? I'm so stressed." Jack's gonna
no
finish his
flavor.
bowl, and we're gonna get back to the wonderful interview with Maisie Peters. This is part 2. Settle in, enjoy. Yes, it was pre-recorded. We fucking know.
This wasn't.
It is, and it's especially, I feel like nowadays more than ever, you have all of these social medias and all of these ways, and it feels like that's half of the thing. It's like half of the thing is making the music, and half of the thing is making people feel as connected as possible. And it's again, like this whole period has been really strange because it could put everyone on the same playing field again, where it's like, okay, no one can tour, no one can do meet and greets. No, like we're all in our bedroom essentially.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like I've just done what everyone else has done to an extent. Like at the beginning, I did like a Zoom. That was really fun. Have you guys done that?
Yeah, we've done a few of those. It's a great time.
You've done a lot of
So
live
good.
streams where you do the covers. I really like those.
Yeah, you were
really
there.
Yeah,
You
I
were
didn't know.
there.
I'm not gonna lie, is maybe one of those times where you're like, oh, someone's live, and then you accidentally click it.
Yeah, no, I've
then
been there.
And then it's like, oh, Jack Barrett joined. You can't leave now. So, and then you're like,
No,
and I'm like, hi.
you were there for the long haul. Imagine if I was like, and this is nothing personal, track 1 to 15. I just did the
Yeah.
entire thing.
Strap
Yeah,
in.
right.
Yeah. I was like, please
you
listen.
did waitlist, though. It was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
cool.
Big song. Big, great song.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah.
you've been doing those streams where you've been doing covers. I don't know. People like that. It's like I haven't seen too many people do that actually.
I think
It's
I
really
want to
cool.
say I tuned in to the end of that because Jack, it was really
Good.
funny when this was all going down. Jack, we have a little group text and Jack popped on and was like, Maisie's covering one of our songs, get on. And then I joined right at the end. And I think did you maybe debut a new song of your own at the end of it?
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
did do that.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Tell us a little bit
Nice.
about that song because I loved it.
Thank you so much. That song is called The List, and it came out relatively recently. And it's a self-hatred bop, as we'd like to call it.
My favorite kind.
My favorite kind, yeah. It's just, I think it was like a big deal for me releasing it. I think it was very personal and very introspective. And I don't know, it's weird because I think people, obviously all of my songs are very personal.
Yeah.
But I think there's like a lot of context to songs that maybe people don't realize, like something that seems very personal could be about something that happened 2 years ago.
Sure.
So for me, I feel very detached from it at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas this song, it just happened to be very recent.
Poignant.
Poignant still. Good word. So yeah, but people really liked it. And it's funny because you like really hype these things up. You're like so afraid, and then you put it out. I don't know, and then I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unreal. It's like,
You're
oh
looking the
shit.
Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And once it's
Yeah.
out there, you're like, okay.
Yeah,
I can breathe again.
I've never listened. Do you guys listen to songs after you put them out?
No.
No. Almost
No.
never.
I listened for like a day or two and then never again.
Yeah.
Like never.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
We just put a record out in April, and I feel like I maybe went back a month after it came out and gave it one more spin just to be like, is it okay? And that was it. Now I'm done. I will never again.
Never, literally though, never again.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because we like before it comes out, you listen to it like 90,000 times,
Mm-hmm.
and then
A
you're
day.
like done. Yeah.
Yep.
The day.
There's something very weird about the creative process in that, and because it really just becomes like whenever you come up with a great idea, it's that first 5 minutes in the studio or wherever you are writing where you're so passionate and so excited about this idea, and then you hit the trough of that. You kind of come down from that high, and then there's this like 8 months or however long it takes for your record to come out or your song to come out where you're just like doubting and questioning and reviewing and revising. And I don't know how it is for you and in your process, but I find that I had to stop myself so many times from like absolutely ruining songs in that in that part where you can just overthink it so much, and getting away from what made it good to begin with. Do you find that when you write, do you kind of stick to your guns right off the bat, get a demo down, and that's how the song lives? Or do you find that you try and try and try and try? Is it a long process for you when you write?
Tends to be no. I like write the song on the day and I'll do the demo. And then I want to say, I'm just thinking if this is true. Yeah, I want to say it doesn't change a lot. I like have a real thing. I'd like really dislike revocaling things.
Yep.
No, I mean not the process of it. I always feel like the first vocal is the best. So it like fucks me off so intensely when the first vocal you can't use it and you have to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And then every time I'm like, it's not as good as the demo. It's not as good as the demo.
Because at that point you're just singing you're singing a song. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
you're
almost like
covering
it's
your own
someone
song.
else's. Yeah, you're covering your own song, and it's a very weird thing. It took me years to learn that.
Yeah, no, which is interesting because I guess you do that live every night, but it's different. It's just like it's a different thing. But I tend to stick with what I've done, and I hate rewriting as well. I'm just so lazy. I hate revocaling and I hate rewriting. But also, I don't know. Do you guys play live on all your records?
Yes. So it's one of those things where, for us, the process has become very, very like disjointed over the years. I mean, we've had records where like I'll write an entire song and then the guys will come in separately and record all their parts. This last record we actually did it much more in line with how we used to do our old records. We all got in a house and all four of us were there like making music together 24/7. And it was a really, really like eye-opening experience being 15 years into our own career and doing it again that way and going like, man, there's that energy. And it does something. I mean, not to say that, our other records weren't as good or whatever, but like there's something to be said for that raw process and to get back to that energy. And I think that kind of circles back to what you were saying at the very beginning. Right. In that like sort of going back to our rooms, sitting on your bed, getting a notebook out, picking up your acoustic guitar, and just the first thing that comes to mind being the thing that sort of defined you as an artist to begin with. And I think we sort of found that with this last record. It kind of took us back to some early days and good energy. And I think there's something to be said for artists in general with where we're all at right now. It's like, it's refreshed the process. It's made it a little bit less about renting out the big studio at East West or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, there's something cool about it.
I think, because at the end of the day, everyone, how do I say this? Like everyone in music, if you're an artist, you were originally successful, but like successful like that because of whatever you did at the beginning. Like that was the first thing you did that made people like you is probably still the best version of yourself in a weird way because it's the first thing. I don't know. I have such a thing where I'm like, I still feel like all of my earlier songs that I released are the best.
Wow.
But I think I kind of always will because they were just like so pure.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Wait another 5 years.
Okay, I'll keep that.
I was gonna say it's amazing.
You're like, I hate this. No, I'm just kidding.
No, because I like the purity of the bad. Like,
right.
And I'm actually I really like a very like untuned vocal and like a guitar that's out of time. Like I'm really all about that. which is just like a personal taste thing. And I'm not saying they're better. Like I think I've written technically better things and I've recorded technically better things. I just personally think the best of me is the earliest.
That's really fascinating to hear, because I feel like that you have some objectivity that a lot of artists don't have. Like there's a wisdom in what you're saying right now that is very self-aware and like kind of, I think it took me 20 years to realize, which I wish I had learned it, earlier on the way you seem to have. And that's really impressive. Like I don't know that I have ever, looked at ourselves that way. I think I would still look back and at our old music and be like, oh my God, what were we thinking?
I wish we wrote that differently. Yeah. There's so much of that.
But that's kind of incredible, because I think it means you're always going to stay closer to that true north for you, which is good.
Yeah, I try to. I think it's good I've sort of had that realization over the past year. And I think that once you do, I don't know, I just think it's all about like purity of intent. That sounds so wank, but like it's about having, I always say like the best bit of the song I say to friends who are like starting out now is like the best thing you'll do is like the thing you do in the first 10 minutes. And then you'll spend like 2 days doing the other 10%, but 90% is the thing you do in the first 10 minutes. So just keep that.
I could not agree more, Maisie.
Like that.
Could not agree more.
Thank you.
We both have a song called Birthday.
Oh, mine's shit. No, mine's
Why
not
is
shit.
yours better than ours? Tell me now.
No, mine's not.
You have
Yours
10
is better.
seconds. Go.
I literally give it away. Birthday is such a funny song for me. I really stand by every song I've released, apart from that song where I'm like, it's fine. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I hate playing it live. I never play it live because it's just so boring. Like my keys player's like my best friend, and we both just look at each other and we're like, this is so dull. Like, it's so dry.
It's one of my favorite things, learning what artists like which artists hate which songs of theirs the most.
Yeah.
Like people always ask, because we have a lot of records at this point, and they're like, are there any songs you don't like? And I'm like, yeah, it's the ones that were singles and we never play live.
Wait, what don't you like?
Oh my God. Where do I start? I have a laundry list. So like All Time Low's funny because we really we've been a band for a long time, and we started it's been a growth. For us, we've kind of done everything publicly. We never really had a whole lot of sit down meetings where we calculated out what the next step needed to be. We just did.
Maybe we should
did
have
things. We probably should have thought about it a little more, but we didn't.
Maybe we should have, man. Did anyone think of that? Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like Dancin' probably wouldn't have put that song out if I'm being honest. Looking back, there's a song on our first record, "Come One, Come All." Hate that song.
Barely a song. Hate it so
That's just savagery.
Structure doesn't even make sense.
There's no structure at all.
Oh my God.
These things happen.
My new favorite. I'm just gonna check just to confirm my intense years of being an All Time Low fan were the following albums.
The first time we spoke, you told me that and this is not to be that guy. You said that you I think you were in line at one of our shows or something like that, and you told it better than I did.
I said, this is actually a good story because this involves Jack as well. So All Time Low at Brixton Academy.
Yes.
I don't know when it was, but it was essentially, apart from the X Factor, you and the X Factor were my first show, I think.
Quality.
So nice. I know, two
quality.
Real, spear points of culture. And yeah, I went with my dad and my best friend at the time, and we had a great time. And it was just the best thing ever. But I was so small, I don't really remember any of it because I couldn't really see. But I remember everyone you guys all just jump so high. That's literally what I remember. Also, it was amazing, obviously.
That's my favorite memory ever of a show. They
jump so high.
Acrobats.
We've got something going for us, Maisie.
You do jump really high. Probably jump the highest of any band I've ever seen. But then I was in LA last summer, and I went to this gig. I don't even know where it was but I'm not 21 yet.
Okay.
So
White
I'm not
Reaper,
21
right?
yet.
Yeah,
it was White Reaper. I now actually have a fake ID, which is also really funny because I got it and then it was quarantined, so I'm going to use it twice in my whole life.
Oh man, but you got one, which is.
But it exists, and it's hilarious that I have one because it's just brilliant. Anyway, but I went to this gig and then I couldn't get in, and then I was trying to get in like round the guy. I was trying to like go around the back or whatever. And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, fair. And then I was just chatting to my friend outside. And then Jack, you walked out. And I was like, oh, I know you because you jumped pretty high and you were in that band that I loved. And I was just like, I think actually someone from Electra introduced us.
Yeah,
but
they did.
In my mind, I was like, okay, just like, I've actually told friends about this in like afterwards. I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I don't even think I remember this, but I was like, hi, I'm Maisie. You're one of my first ever shows at Brixton Academy. You were great. Okay, bye. And then that was it.
You're so nice. Like, was I a dick?
Okay.
No,
you were super nice. I remember. I was like, he was super nice about it, but I think he was just quite confused because I was also like, just like small in English and like talk really fast, and you were just like,
I was like, oh, she's really nice. And I found out you were in our label, so then I went and looked up your music, and that's how I found out about you, actually.
That's right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Very full circle.
Full circle. Full circle. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brixton Academy.
It's been lovely having you on, Maisie. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Thanks for being our first ever guest. I'm
pleasure.
Very excited about your music and where you're going with things, and I look forward to seeing what else happens. And I think all of the people watching and listening right now will be as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me,
You
guys.
set the interview bar very high.
Sick one. I hope everyone fails really miserably.
Yes, I'm sure they will.
Crushed it. Is there anything before you go that you'd like to add? Anything you want to put people onto? Anything you feel is important right now to know?
No.
That's it?
No.
Love it.
That is quite soon. No, I have nothing to say, but like, I will have things to say in some weeks. So
cool. Well, we can follow up.
Yeah,
We'll continue
chase it up.
Plugging. Awesome. Thanks, Maisie.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hey.
She's great. She's the best, man.
Maisie Peters, everybody. She's wonderful. Just a lovely woman.
Really nice.
Very talented. We wanted to get her on, introduce her to all of you. If you're not familiar, if you are, good for you. And if you're not, go check out her music because she's really good.
The chat was blowing up. They really like her.
Yeah. Jack, did you finish that cereal during that?
I'm hungry, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know when like you're hungover and you're on that empty stomach and you're like, I need some. I'm running on Jolly Rancher fumes, cereal fume right now.
That's a bad way to be. It's
Yeah,
a bad way to
good.
be. Hey,
Rainbow poop.
it's time now for another edition of Hey, you know it'd be awesome. Featuring Jeff Maker.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Are you in
Great,
a snow globe?
No, I've upgraded my facilities. My inventions are selling pretty well.
The inventions are the hundreds and the thousands are rolling in.
Yeah. Hundreds, just to hundreds.
The hundreds? Well,
Yeah.
hey, depending on where you are right now, hundreds could get you a lot.
I know, but I'm
Where is
saying
this?
it's,
Where is this snow
bad.
globe dome located?
It's classified.
Is it? Is it actually?
No.
This is my easily my favorite segment of the show, so I'm very excited right now. We're gonna dive into some more of Jeff's $100 ideas. He's submitted a new list for the week, and we're gonna start it off now with an invention called hot ice. An invisible coating you put on the bottom of your feet that changes temperature to cool your feet on hot surfaces and warm your feet on cold surfaces. It dries, completely invisible. It feels like you're wearing nothing at all. So it's just another one of our little secrets. Jeff writes these.
There was no humor in that. It was just literally something I think would be great.
So you want a cream for your feet that when you step on something hot, it won't burn your feet. And if you step on something cold, you will not register the cold.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm thinking of the beach.
Well, how about what about shoes?
No, but you're on the beach.
yeah, this is actually genius. This one's more maybe like a couple $100 idea.
Is
yeah.
it genius?
It's probably, well, there are like little like coatings you can put on the bottom
Socks?
of your feet.
Yeah, socks.
Like the
Sandals.
rubber, I'm talking just cream.
Just cream. Okay. The Old Timer, an app where you can select any time period in any city or town to see what the buildings or streets used to look like. It includes a 360 view. Imagine being magically whisked away to your old neighborhood where you grew up, just the way you remembered it. Jeff, I like that one. God, this picture.
You live in the future.
Did you make this graphic? I love this.
It's just
It's a 3D cityscape with a clock and a man wearing VR.
yeah. These are actually like really good ideas.
Yeah, I feel like you've
I'm on
stepped up
board
your
with
game.
these
That's actually pretty good. I like.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an augmented reality history app.
You've put a lot of pressure. It's a weekly thing to come up with inventions. I don't know.
You better get back in the shop and keep inventing. You know.
Yeah.
I have
The
more
midlife
space.
crisis, a portable head enclosure that can mount on your shoulders to simulate a convertible car, and you can open up that convertible roof anytime you want. Comes with an upgradable.
Oh my God, he's so young.
And then Jeff added in some flavor here. Bored in that big meeting? Tell those squares peace out. Take that top down and wheel your given. Take a seat out of that office into a midlife that you can feel better about. Oh,
That's right.
My God.
Yeah, it goes
Can
together.
we see that graphic one more time, please?
I love that.
Oh my God, he's so young.
That's funny.
Unbelievable.
Those
Okay.
are all trademarked, by the way.
The next one is the friendette. Friendette? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, friendette or friendette.
Friendette. Are you sick of being the one who always pays for that friend when you go out? Yes. We've got the app for you. It keeps track of how much money you owe a friend or how much they owe you after a night out. You can choose to donate 100% to your friend's preferred charities instead of paying them back, or pay them back through the app for a small fee. The graphic is an app that just says, fuck you, pay me.
I mean, that's
that bummed out guy?
legitimately an amazing idea. A lot
That's
of
a
people
good
owe
one.
me money.
Thank you. Hope no one steals the ideas.
That is a good one. Yeah, these are all trademarked to Jeffrey, so don't you dare
Yeah.
try to run off with one of these.
The app is called Fuck You, Pay Me. I love that.
Finally, the cock knocker. A robot rooster that wakes you up in the morning by perching on your stomach, and it taps its little beak into your junk. All while continuously cock-a-doodle-doing and flapping its wings frantically until you get out of bed. It will not stop until you're up and out. Now you're guaranteed to be on time for the big corporate merger at the office on Monday. Jeff,
Yes.
why do all of your inventions have some weird implication that I have an office job? There's the suit that I can run to work in that is reversible. There's this, I can drag my chair out of the meeting.
For the big
now
meeting.
There's this. What fantasy is this? What's happening?
That's good.
This is not fantasy. This is just me trying to market it to people that have disposable income, because these aren't really inventions anybody's going to be like, yeah, I need that. Or maybe. I don't know. Maybe it
That's
is.
good. Pretty
Oh
good,
my
man.
God. That's this week's, hey,
That's it.
it'd be awesome. Thank you so much, Jeffrey.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Keep on inventing, kid.
Wow. His office just keeps getting better. His facilities. The money's
at least-
coming. The money's coming.
We get some upgrades as well.
Speaking of money,
Yeah.
our budget went up this week for episode 3. And I'm very excited now to bring another installment of Master Debaters, now with its very own theme song. Roll it.
Let's go.
Master Debaters, Master Debaters.
That's right. The theme song is forever and we can't return it. So
Hope you like it.
I hope you guys loved it. We actually, before we continue, we actually had a fan submitted intro sequence for Master Debaters as well that I would like to play now, and we can maybe we'll alternate between the two. But I don't think I have the name of the person who submitted this, but it's absolutely incredible. So I want to play it for you now. Here's the fan submitted alt version of the Master Debaters intro. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Shredder.
That band is called Out of Time, by the way. Out of Time.
Out of Time? A band did it? Thank you, Out of Time. Shout out.
That's
Very, very
sick, dude.
kind of you to provide us with that. That was so good.
It's always great when your
riff.
fans are more talented than you.
Yeah, that riff was like actually a solid riff, and I feel like that band should not have sacrificed it on our Master Debaters intro. They should have used it for a song that could have been successful for them. Mm-hmm. Okay?
All right.
Take it from two guys who are in a very successful band.
Who?
Any two. Pick two.
Any two.
This week on Master Debaters, big topic. Hot
Big
button
time.
issue.
Big time.
Hot button issue. We got DC versus Marvel, which, I mean...
You've always been a really big DC fan.
I have. And therefore, I will be arguing for DC during today's episode. Here's how the game is played. Each team gets about 1 minute or so to make a case for their side of the argument. Contestants are pre-assigned to their teammates. They do not know in advance and they do not get to pick. No interrupting the other team during their statement or rebuttal, but you can make facial reactions. You can disagree with expressions, which does not help those listening to the podcast right now. At the end, we will throw to the council. They are summoned from their damp chamber halls to give the final verdict on who won the debate. If the council comes to a split decision, we now have live fan voting in the chat to determine the winners. So.
And before we do start, I just want to say that I had to Google what DC was because I didn't know what it was. So,
It's
but
the
that's
capital.
separate of the argument.
It's where the president lives. Team Alex today is arguing for DC. We have a very fantastic, masterful debater. Her name is Kate M. She is 19 in Buffalo, New York. She's attending college for theater performance and wants to be a theater teacher. Her favorite musical is Rent. She can say the alphabet backwards. And she has a passion for DC that is unparalleled to any other. And she's an overachiever. So there you go. Let's welcome right now, Kate M.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hi,
Hey.
Kate.
Hi.
Thanks for
you
coming
guys
on
doing?
today, and thank you for, teaming up
Yeah.
with me. I'm excited.
You're welcome. I've grown up with DC, so I'm really excited to be arguing against Marvel.
Good. We'll save
Real
that.
quick, I just gotta throw you out to the wolves real quick. You can do the alphabet backwards.
Yes.
Can we hear that?
Yep.
Yes. ZYXWT VUTS RQP NML KJI HG FEDB DCBA.
Wow. That was.
And
all right.
notice, in the alphabet backwards, she said DC.
I did notice that.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to
so-
bring it up, but you did. So here we are.
So good luck.
Well, she might have said Marvel too. You don't know.
On Team Jack, arguing for Marvel, we got Kylie C. She's 20 from Long Island. She's an English major, currently in her sophomore year at SUNY. She wants to be an author when she graduates. She was required to participate in the debate club in elementary school, so she is
Oh, fuck yeah.
she's ready for this.
Let's go.
She founded her high school debate club. She's the
Ooh,
youngest
let's
of 5. And she was an extra on an episode of Comic Book Men that featured Stan Lee. So...
Pretty good.
And there she is right there in the background.
Hey.
Right
She
up in
getting
that shot.
Nice.
So let's welcome Kylie C.
Hey guys,
Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm splendid. How are you?
We're very well. Very, very well.
Ready. I'm ready.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous today because you seem to be quite a debater.
I'd like to think so. Yes.
You have accolades.
But are you a master debater?
I hope
We'll find
so.
out. We will find out. So I think last week, who went first? We ended. We got the last word. So I think we should flip it this time. Cool. We're going to give ourselves the disadvantage, if that's all right with you, Kate.
Yes, that's fine.
So how would that work? So it's got to be DC, Marvel, DC, Marvel. So DC will go first, I guess.
Cool.
So Kate, are you ready?
I am. Okay, so I believe that DC is better than Marvel in all forms of ways. Yes, Marvel does have a better cinematic universe when you consider it, but DC was the first company to begin, and Marvel became 5 years prior. Marvel was made 5 years afterwards, meaning DCA is the first. B, please tell me how many supervillains you know which are of the Marvel side, because in my opinion, I have grown up with generations of the superheroes and supervillains of DC. So, Joker, Bane, Catwoman, the Penguin, oh gosh, Brainiac, Lex Luthor. I've grown up with all those. And please don't tell me that if someone asks you right now to name like 5 to 10 Marvel villains that you could do it. They're not as obsolete. When it comes to the actual Marvel company itself, it actually would have failed if it wasn't for Spider-Man, because that's one of the only well-known ones if it wasn't for the Avengers occurring. So yes, our cinematic universe isn't great, but when it comes to our shows, comic books, it's been generations of doing so. I mean, we had shows such as Smallville, which had 9 million followers per each episode when it was around. And then when it came to The Flash, we still have about 4 million people watching each show which occurs. Supergirl has about 2 to 3 million watching every single episode. And Arrow as well was pretty popular. So those are also really popular things compared to Marvel's, which, yes, they had S.H.I.E.L.D., but that went down pretty fast, and not many people watched it from what I recognize. So in my belief, I believe that's a generational thing, which people have grown up with from starting with the original Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and then going to Justice League, and now to the regular shows of Supergirl, Flash, and the Arrow. So I believe that due to this generational years of it, it's not only a favorite amongst new people, but also amongst grandparents. And grandparents are honestly, I mean, that's years of people. And that's why DC is better.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Wow, that was really good. That was really
unbelievable.
Good.
Well done. Well prepared. Yeah. Speaking to the generations.
I gotta start preparing for these. I kind of underestimate how much people are preparing.
I love it. Came in with the fire. All right, Kylie, you're up.
All right. So I do want to talk about the cinematic universes for a second. So when you're going to look at it from the perspective of the cinematic universe, Marvel has consistently been more successful. If you take the Rotten Tomato scores of the MCU films, average them out, for Marvel, you're going to get about an 85. If you do the same for the DC Extended Universe, you're going to come out at about a 60. That's a big gap in Marvel's favor. And consistently, Marvel movies are some of the top grossing films of all time, which shows you that they are resonating with both critics and the consumers. And just looking at the cinematic universe from a storytelling standpoint, it's incredible what they've been able to achieve, that they've had this vast story that spanned over 23 films and about a decade worth of time. It's unprecedented, and it hasn't been duplicated since. So when you look in comparison to the DCEU, it's pretty weak. It's effectively just tonally and thematically inconsistent. And if you take a look at a film like Batman versus Superman and throw that against Birds of Prey, the individual merits of those movies aside, they are not meant to take place in the same universe.
Let's go.
It betrays a total lack of story cohesion that Marvel has been able to maintain over the years throughout, like flexing their character dynamics and their storytelling elements by focusing on characters. And Marvel is known for focusing more on the humanity and interpersonal relationships of their characters rather than flashy DC iconography. So you get characters like Miles Morales or Carol Danvers, who are a lot more relatable to the average consumer than someone like, say, Superman. And to the relatability of Marvel characters, in the comics, the X-Men in particular are known to have always represented minority groups, in particular the Jewish community. And it's offered something beautiful for people to relate to. And a last note on the comics, in the 70s, Marvel was willing to challenge the Comic Code Authority and get restrictions on comic book publishing loosened a bit. And it was something that DC was too afraid to do because they were more focused on keeping the Comic Code seal of approval. So Marvel really paved the way to open deeper discussions in their comics. And I think that shows that Marvel has been flexing on DC for at least the past 50 years.
All right.
I
was gonna do a number type rebuttal, but I guess I gotta say words now.
All of a sudden, I feel sick and I have to go. I don't want to be here anymore. Wow.
A simple no would have done just fine.
Holy hell, you guys, this is all right. So I guess that makes it my turn, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I say this as a massive fan of both franchises. Some of my favorite characters exist in the Marvel Universe. Peter Parker. A humanized character. A good man. However, I will maintain that DC as a franchise, with all of its characters, with its roster, is just as diverse, just as progressive, has made the same, if not more, statements about society in the past. And has always consistently presented human characters first, even in a godlike alien character such as Superman. His story is not about being a god. It's not about being this invincible, all-conquering being. It's about the struggles of one Clark Kent and his place in the world. Bruce Wayne, a damaged boy, no parents, broken by society, determined to fix it. The Flash, Barry Allen. He just runs fast. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. And look, I'll say this. I understand that Marvel has this amazing shared cinematic universe. But without DC, we would not have Heath Ledger's Joker. We would not have The Dark Knight. We would not have the Bat MasterCard or whatever it is from the Val Kilmer movie back in the 90s.
That was bad.
Or the nipples. We wouldn't have the nipples on the suit. So I ask you, is a shared universe that important? Is this big cinematic thing with Thanos and Captain America and Iron Man and Spider-Boy, is it really that important when without DC we'd have no bat nipples? Really think, dig deep, and ask yourself that. I rest my case.
Whew. You guys really feel very passionate about this.
Correct.
Correct. So am I doing DC or Marvel? I'm doing Marvel.
You're doing Marvel. You're on Marvel.
Exactly 9 years ago and 4 days before my birthday, 9 years ago and 4 days ago, DC released a movie called The Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. His best friend was a fish.
No.
His best friend was a fish named Tomer Ray. I'm fucking done. That's it. That's it.
Yo, y'all prearranged this? There's
Yo,
a graphic
that's
queued
all.
up?
That's man. His best friend was a fish named Tomer Ray. Also, Baby Groot. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, listen, we're going to go to the council now, but let it be known, this debate is debated under protest, knowing that there was background lobbying and organization before. If you had a graphic ready to go with the fish man from Green Lantern, there's like I could have queued up some things. I could have had some things ready to go.
Can we see Fish Boy again?
Release the Snyder cut. Snyder's putting out his Justice League soon, and I think it's gonna. Oh god.
It's like.
Oh gosh.
What the fuck, dude?
He's got a beak. He's got a
beak.
beak.
And it was so bad that Marvel was like, all right, come over to our side. We'll make an actual good movie with you, and we'll do Deadpool.
Man. All right, let's go to the council. Let's see what the council has to say.
Interesting.
Is this Jeff coming to us from Krypton? Wow.
Well, talk about bias.
Yeah, I was gonna, maybe we're evening out.
What?
I don't consider myself an expert on many things. And I don't think I've ever seen or heard of one thing that you guys are talking about, from fish people to Ryan Reynolds in a green Spider-Man costume. I don't know what's happening. Having said that, I can listen to a debate, and both of our guests should be hosting this show.
Yes.
It was incredible.
I agree.
In this debate, I will lean towards whatever team Jack and Kylie went for. Happy birthday, Jack.
Thank you.
Wow.
And this funny business with this pre-organizing images or predetermining images and stuff, that's shady stuff. That's what Marvel's all about anyway. So
like having predetermined backgrounds, Jeffrey.
Not at all aligned with one of the franchises.
The debaters came ready. I come ready, but you bring it yourself. You don't have someone else do it for you.
Hey Jeff, take us. Do you want to maybe like take us into like a place of solitude, like some sort of like a castle or a fortress, maybe? Wow. Wow, look at that.
And
I
it's
love
just that
Alex
easy.
being all mad that Jack had something pre-ready. Just snap.
There's shenanigans afoot. There are
Bobber.
shenanigans afoot.
It is true. First Star Wars, now this, Ryan.
So does that mean we have to go to the chat?
Yeah, let's go to the chat.
poll?
I believe we had a poll, right? We had a poll going.
Yes.
CrashTestLive.com/debaters. Cast your vote. I want to know. I want to know.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're talking 83.4% to Marvel. That's Team Jack and Kylie.
Wow. And Fish Boy as well.
Also, by the way, I made an egregious mistake that exposes me. I said Val Kilmer for the bat nipples, but that was Clooney, and the card was also Clooney.
And that's where you lost it.
Yeah, and that's why we're slipping.
And that's why we're slipping. Thanks, guys. Great
job.
Really good.
I think the poll decides it. I think Marvel wins this one. I apologize, Kate. I didn't bring it, but you did. You certainly did.
Kate, you brought it, girl.
You were both
Thank you so
master
much.
debaters, but in this instance, Kylie C, you continue to reign supreme from high school, elementary school, well into the future.
You guys inspire me, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys on the news one day, inventing something pretty crazy, even crazier than a chair that you have to massage.
Thank you all very much for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Love y'all. Bye. Well, there you go. I guess Marvel wins.
That was good.
Fish boy.
Dude, like, it has breasts, it looks like. It's weird. It's fucking
some
weird.
fish have breasts.
That is true.
I actually don't think any fish have breasts because they're not mammals.
We'll let you guys know next week.
We're going to do some research. We're going to do a deep dive, if you will, a deep dive under the sea to find out about fish breasts. Fun facts this week. It's time for fun facts, people. Jeffrey hit it with the song like we practiced.
Fun facts. It's a little old place where you can find out about some shit.
There it is.
Fun facts, baby.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we ran out. We spent most of the budget from last week's episode on the Master Debaters theme song, so we didn't have the money to get a Fun Facts theme song. We are working towards that. We're trying to meet our goals, people. Fun facts this week. Mr. Rogers always mentioned out loud that he was feeding his fish because a young blind viewer once asked him to do so. He wanted to know if the fish were okay.
Oh, I love him.
And of course, Mr. Rogers came through. That's incredible. Guinness estimates that 93,000 liters of beer are lost in facial hair each year in the UK alone. That's right, mustaches, beer mustaches. That's the grossest thing.
Yummy.
I'm starting a company. We're going to wring out beards, recan that beer, call it Beard. That's right. After leaving office, Ronald Reagan was offered the role of Hill Valley's mayor in Back to the Future 3.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Old Reagan.
Old Reagan.
Old Reagan in Back to the Future 3. We're good. We're good. Cells in the retina decline in sensitivity as we age, meaning that colors, like blue, appear washed out as the years pass. In short, the sky actually was bluer when you were younger. I was gonna say things feel bleaker now than they ever have before.
I'm 32.
The American rock band. Sorry, what, Jack?
I actually have nothing to say. I'm depressed right now.
Okay. Have another cereal. The American rock band The Postal Service was sent a cease and desist letter by the United States Postal Service for trademark infringement on their name. After negotiations, the USPS allowed the band to use their name in exchange for playing a free show at their national conference.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. We keep getting sued every time the president's approval rating hits another all-time low. Boom! Boom! Got him. Greenland sharks don't reach sexual maturity until they're 150 years old. That's a long time to wait.
That's pretty good.
It's a long time to wait. Cows moo in regional accents.
I like that.
So they have like dialects.
Oh. Moo.
Dairylects. Huh? I'm sorry. Black teeth were a sign of wealth in 18th century England, which is what we always tell ourselves.
Mew.
May 29th is officially Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day. I missed it this year.
We fucking missed it. Thanks, Jeff.
I missed it. The top 6 foods that make you fart are beans, corn, bell peppers, cauliflower, cabbage, and milk.
And everything.
So, yeah, Jack and I have IBS. And
yes,
there's a lot more foods that do that to us. Breathing does that to us. Breathing Earth's atmosphere.
Simply living.
The air. Honeybees can recognize human faces. They see faces in a compilation of 5,000 individual images, kind of like pixels.
Ooh. It's kind of nice.
And as a follow-up, a swarm of 20,000 bees followed a car for 2 days because their queen was stuck inside. The car was parked. Thousands of bees swarmed onto the car. Queen got stuck inside. Car took off. Bees followed because them bees be loyal to Queen Bee. You know?
I love that.
And finally,
I kind of do.
Hewlett-Packard's, also known as HP, which is the printer that we give to people from 1983.
Our sponsor.
If they are smarter than Jack. Shout out to our sponsor. The name was decided in a coin toss in 1939. It was going to be a hyphenation of the two founders' last names. So in order to decide between Hewlett-Packard or Packard-Hewlett, they flipped a coin.
Huh. That's pretty interesting.
There's a whole upside-down world out there, a whole nother universe where the coin landed on the other side and it was Packard-Hewlett. And none of our jokes made sense. We couldn't send printers to anybody.
No,
all right, people.
Jolly Rancher cereal is giving me some... I'm burping a lot.
You got some sour milk indigestion going on?
Yeah, ew.
Apparently, I'm going to go to chat now. We're gonna talk to some people in chat. Apparently, we fucked up, and we had already talked about blonde bears on the show. I forgot. I spaced.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Well, I didn't know that. So, the pillow one was on the first episode?
Are you sure?
Jeffrey, what are you doing to me?
I mess up?
What are you doing to me over here, man? You're too worried about your inventions.
Well,
not about the truth.
All right, I'll make sure.
Also, chat, it's not the almond milk. It's almond milk. It's not giving me gas. It doesn't have real dairy, right?
I'm upset. I'm disappointed.
It's not real milk, John.
I'm real disappointed. Hey, we had some mail submitted from 1 Graham T. They said they had a weird ass trippy dream where they were Jack. The quote says, I talked to the history professor about it, who pulled a glass of frozen red wine out of the sand and 2 frozen beers, and the government kidnapped me, my cousin, and this other guy. His name was Will. And they could only talk in fragments. So the full email says, I want to start out by saying I looked and sounded like Jack, but I'll be referring to myself as I because it was my dream. I was going to this university that had burned down about 30 years before it was rebuilt. I noticed these plastic-like things that were dull reddish orange, and they had spirits or ghosts trapped inside them that were talking to me. My friend Amy also talked to them, but only if the fragments were slate blue. My friend Amy also... Wait, this is a deep dive. Then the government kidnapped me, my cousin, and this other guy, who both could talk, but only in fragments. We escaped and fled the government in a UFO, but what? And ended up in Italy. Will and I bought an apartment. All of this happened in your dream?
Who remembers this much of a fucking dream?
Then we got a cat and made a blanket fort, and I woke up. Graham, I don't believe this. I'm sorry. I love you.
I think you took shrooms.
Dearly, but this sounds much more like a drug trip than it does a dream. Because I'll tell you what, the only part of my dreams I remember is like that part where I'm peeing in the dream and then I wake up and I'm peeing.
And if you're peeing your bed.
Yeah,
of course.
that's the only part I ever remember.
You did it twice a week on tour. A couple things. There's a chainsaw going on in the background, yes. Okay. Someone outside my place is cutting wood.
All right.
Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say that, but also I'm just reading the comments as you guys are going. And one thing that's remained this entire time was the chat is extremely freaked out by the fact that you had almond milk in your bowl before pouring the cereal on. And I'd like to discuss that for the chat, for my people, if you will.
And you're right. And I usually don't do that, but I didn't want you guys to see what Milka was because we're not sponsored by them yet.
Ryan, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I had wanted to bring that up. I wanted to ask, why? Why in the world would you do that to everyone? You are a monster human.
This is bad. It gets worse.
Nobody pours their milk first.
I know. I'm embarrassed.
You should be. You should feel bad.
Also, this is really bad. Like it hasn't gotten better.
Yeah. What are you gonna? What are you gonna try? What are you gonna try next week, or does it have to be like a secret?
It's a secret. I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay. So you go ahead.
I ordered shit, but if the fans see any cool if you guys see any cool foods or weird foods and you want me to eat them, send them over and I'll buy them. Try them out.
Cool or weird foods.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be weird. It could just be like, oh, that's interesting. You know what I mean?
What's an interesting food?
Jolly Rancher cereal.
Okay.
I can't tell you the other ones.
Yeah. Don't give anything away.
Yeah.
Someone just said bananas on pizza. Like, what? No. We've already discussed pineapple.
No, I won't eat
Alyssa
bugs.
says, will you eat bugs?
Maybe. What?
Hey, I have a theory that bug protein is going to be like within the next 10 years. It's going to be a pretty common thing.
It's been, we're going to wrap up this episode.
Hear me out. On the next episode of Crash Test Live. Join me on my other podcast, Bug Meat, after this to find out more about eating bugs and being a worm. Jack, what did we learn today?
SpongeBob's gay.
Correct. We
Yes,
think.
correct.
Maybe. Or he's asexual, but either way, he's living his truth, and that's all that matters.
What did we learn? Jolly Rancher cereal sucks ass. Who thought that would be a good idea? Literally, who thought that?
Still working on that sponsorship, though, so be careful.
Juneteenth needs to be a national holiday.
Absolutely. About fucking time.
Maisie is amazing.
Maisie is amazing.
And the real buried treasure is what's inside.
The real treasure is within.
Mm-hmm.
It's within us all. If you're at home now,
that.
listening to this or watching this, look deep within. See that treasure in yourself. And shine on, you crazy diamond. This has been another installment of Crash Test Live. Guys, thank you so very much for joining us. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you have a great weekend. We will see you next Friday. Take care, y'all.
Peace!
And Godspeed.